to Subtrendy's weekly news show. I am your host, Jessica, and on the show today we have the always lovely Taylor. How's life going, Taylor? Anything new?
You're asking me this because you know exactly what is new.
I do.
And nerd news for my life. Even though it's taken me a very long time, I'm finally watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is like really an entry-level anime, and I'm a little ashamed that I hadn't watched it until then, but it's amazing.
I'm ashamed too,
it's
and
so
it
good.
is amazing. It's so good. If you haven't watched, those of you who are seeing this video at home, you should do it. It's very good.
It's not related to any of our news topics at all.
Not at all. In fact, today is actually going to focus mainly on Comic-Con, because that happened last week. We didn't actually have an episode up. But you know what? I'm kind of happy about that because it gives us some time to digest the week's events. Some new information has kind of come out over the course of the week. So yeah, let's go into it. The first thing that I want to talk about, because we have Taylor here, and I know you've been excited to talk about this, is we just found out that a movie that was previously called The Woods is actually been revealed to be The Blair Witch. So it's a... Well, I'll let you go on because you know more about the lore and the backstory.
Well, it's... they haven't said explicitly. I assume it's not a prequel just because everyone's dressed modern. But it is either a sequel or a reboot, not 100% sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like a sequel to the, I think 99? 99, sounds
I think
right?
so. Mm-hmm.
Blair Witch. And,
yeah, let's start the timer.
That's basically it.
So we'll talk about that a little bit. As you, if this is your first time watching, we normally do a 2-minute timer thing. What might look a little bit different though, is we actually are going to be including a lovely box that should have just popped up. And this will show trailer footage, images, anything that we're talking about. And it's
cool
kind of,
stuff.
yeah, cool stuff. So let's go ahead and begin.
Alright, well, I have kind of mixed feelings because when the first Blair Witch came out, I mean, I didn't see it until like some years later, since I was a wee bab in 99. It was kind of unique for the found footage, viral marketing thing. Not a lot of stuff had done that yet. It was really kind of like the first one that did it really successfully.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just kind of like found footage is kind of old hat. And if you follow our website at all, I actually recently wrote an article about how the found footage genre could be reinvigorated, and unfortunately from what I have seen from the trailers, it doesn't look like they're not following any of my advice.
I know, so they clearly need to get in contact with you.
They do, because horror studios, talk to me, I can make found footage not suck.
Make horror great again.
Make horror great again.
2016.
2016, that's my platform.
But no, so I mean, when you think of found footage, I feel like the Blair Witch Project is one of the most iconic. Like, that's what you think
it's
of.
probably going to be that and Paranormal Activity are going to be the ones that most people are going to think of first.
So do you think, like, as somebody who I know, like, when found footage is done well, like, I know that you say you like it.
Right.
Do you think the Blair Witch Project did
I thought the Blair Witch Project did it pretty well. It still had kind of my main complaint, which is probably the main complaint of most people who complain about found footage, is almost every single one has a moment where you're watching and you're like, the cameraman would have dropped the camera and run. Yeah. Like, almost every single one. And, like, the original Blair Witch had a couple of those. This one's looking at it's, like, gonna have some of those, maybe. I don't know. And the other thing is, I'm just like, this has been a long time for a sequel, and...
It has been. Very big gap.
I don't know. I guess there's only so much reinvigorating of franchises that I can take, and I know that's another common complaint with horror fans. I don't know. I liked the first one okay.
I guess we're just gonna have to kind of see. And that is our time on that one.
But I mean, they already made The Witch, so they can't make a better witch movie, so they should just stop trying.
And that is also part of Taylor's platform for Make Horror Great Again.
Just The Witch.
Just The Witch.
Black Phillip's my mascot.
Yes. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to move on to before we kind of go into capes and tights is what I was going to say, because we do have so much superhero news for you guys. We are going to talk a little bit about King Kong Skull Island. So, pretty cool looking trailer. We have a lot of, people who are in Marvel movies in that movie, which is kind of interesting because people are joking, oh, you have Loki, the new Captain Marvel, which we'll get to in a little bit, and Nick Fury all working together. But I don't know, let's go ahead and start the timer and let's go over some thoughts.
Tentatively excited, because, you know what, I can get behind big giant monster movies.
You're a fan of the monster movie.
Yeah, loved Pacific Rim. There's been some other ones I've really enjoyed. I did not like the remake of Godzilla, or the reboot, or whatever you want to call it.
The one with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, because they killed him off, like, they killed the best actor in, like, the first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
which is stupid. And they didn't show Godzilla near enough. I think, like, big monster horror is really the only genre of horror where I want to see the monster a lot, and I get kind of bummed if I don't. But
because it's almost like a genre that's so over the top, you need
like,
that.
You need it, yeah. So I was glad from the trailer for Skull Island that they did have a fair amount of King Kong in the trailer. The only thing I am a little worried about, though, is apparently they are supposed to be, like, kind of doing the whole stupid cinematic universe that everyone and their mom has to do.
Oh yeah, I heard
with
about that.
Godzilla, and I'm just like, that one wasn't that good though. Maybe this can kind of bring some life into it. Kong is freaking huge.
Yeah.
Like, really big. Like not climbing the Empire State Building, but the Empire State Building huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's got Tom Hiddleston in it, so.
Yeah, good old
Even
Tom
though I'm
Hiddleston.
mad at him right now.
Yeah, not on speaking terms with Tom Hiddleston, but no, I think it sounds pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of monster movies, but the trailer to me, I was like, okay, I can maybe get on board with this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We still have what, 20 seconds?
It looks pretty cool. It did look pretty cool.
It looked like it was going to be an action-packed summer blockbuster film, which is what we see a lot of. So
yeah.
Like I said,
it's probably. I'm not gonna go see it right when it opens. I will probably wait and see when the reviews come out.
That's exactly. Well, actually, you know what? I guarantee you, Andrew and I will go see it for a review.
Yeah.
That's our 2 minutes. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. Now, as you can tell, like, that's not like the thing that, we took away from Comic-Con. We're like, this is the best part of it. But it's an interesting thing. The trailer looked good, so as you saw right here, check it out. Go to YouTube,
I think it did just about the right amount of getting you interested without showing too much.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty well
Which is an
constructed.
art in trailer making nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to do it. So next thing that we're going to go into is Sherlock Season 4 just has some footage released. Sherlock is one of those cult following type
Emphasis
TV
on
shows.
cults, holy crap.
BBC is part of like the whole, what is it? It's like Super Hulock is like the whole, like it's, Sherlock
unholy
and Doctor
trinity.
Who and Supernatural has like that crazy. And so these people have been waiting, and even I like Sherlock, been waiting for a long time to see the next season of this. And so we just saw our first footage of it, and it also looks like Sherlock and Mycroft might have a little bro. Another little bro. Maybe a big bro. I don't know. But a bro. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about it. I don't know. What do you think? You've read Sherlock. So
I read some of. I actually haven't read as much as someone like me would be expected to have read. But
what do you think of them?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have another brother in the actual stories, and Andrew off camera is shaking his head, and I know he's read
quite a bit.
Quite a few, if not all of them. And I don't know. It's kind of one of those where I'm just like, I don't like Sherlock. And this is probably like the most predictable thing for me to say. I don't like it because it's modern. That's a big thing.
No, and what's funny is I actually feel the same way about it. Like
the appeal of Sherlock Holmes to me is partly the Victorian setting. Also, I just think the way Benedict Cumberbatch plays him is like thoroughly charmless. And I actually prefer Robert Downey.
I actually do too, which is like a weird thing to say because I feel like the Robert Downey, Jude Law, like Sherlock movies get so much of that like Van Helsing type quality.
And I don't even care.
You know what I mean? Or like The Mummy, where it's like they're kind of good, but at the same time they're kind of cheesy and not. But I like them. I think they're really good. So, but I also don't mind the television series. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people think it is.
I watched the first season. Now, I did think that the very first episode I thought was very good.
That's the lady in pink.
Yes.
Yeah, or the woman in pink.
The other two I thought were bad. I didn't watch any of the other ones. Actually, no, I think I watched the one with Irene Adler, and I hated how they did her character.
I agree. I didn't really like how they did Irene Adler in it either.
No. Amy Adams better Irene Adler. Not Amy Adams. Rachel McAdams. Whatever. There was an Adam in there.
Is just very pretty.
There was an
Adam
Adam in there.
Yeah,
I like her.
But it's very exciting because like it's been quite a few years since we saw season 3 come out, and that was the one that
I thought they were done with the series. Actually,
I thought so too. And like that's the thing is you can never quite rely on them to put out a new season. That's like the biggest thing, So good thing for Sherlock fans out there. Be sure to check it out if you want to see it. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be out. I don't think they've given a release date yet. So stay tuned for that. We'll give that to you when it comes out. The next thing that we are going to go into is The Rocketeer. We're going to kind of go into our superhero-y segment. Though there's like some back and forth. Whatever. We're just going to go into our next thing. But The Rocketeer, cult classic, almost kind of steampunky vibes.
More diesel.
Yeah. So they're making a new film. This is really exciting to a lot of people who have been kind of wanting a resurgence to happen.
I had no freaking idea anyone even cared about The Rocketeer anymore.
You know what's funny is when Andrew and I went to Comic-Con in St. Louis, or no, WizardCon in St. Louis a couple months ago, I guess it was more than that now, like 4 months ago.
It's been bad.
We actually saw somebody cosplaying The Rocketeer, and it was interesting because we thought the same thing. We're like, man, is that going to make like a resurgence? And look, it's making a resurgence.
So that cosplayer was the prophet.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently.
But what's really interesting about it, though, is instead of a white man, we are now going to see a black woman take the role of the Rocketeer. So kind of throwing a little bit of a change in there. I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Make your own damn characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel at this point. Like I'm all for like having more representation of more different types of people in movies, but I feel like it's a cop-out to just constantly be like, this character's already kind of popular, we'll just change him up a little.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, make your own characters.
No, I definitely get what you mean.
Plus, like with The Rocketeer, I'm like, who cares? I guess people do, but that's just kind of like blows my mind. I've seen the old movie like once. I don't think I can tell you a damn thing about it. It didn't make much of an impression on me either way. The costume's kind of cool.
The costume is cool. I really do like the costume.
I don't know, maybe that's like some sort of nerd taboo that I've just broken by saying I don't care about The Rocketeer and I've not...
I wouldn't say it's a nerd taboo. I think it's definitely like one of the... We were talking earlier today about like Repo the Genetic Opera and stuff like that. I think it's like one of those weird kind of things. Or like Tank Girl. Tank Girl is kind of a similar thing, I feel like. Where you have people who really dig this kind of... like I want to say, it's like a cult classic type thing. It's not something that was ever really mainstream, you know, and but to some people, it means a lot, so it's kind of interesting. And I find it's kind of interesting that they're taking a character that is so iconic and such a cult classic figure to so many people and redoing it like this, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a little, I don't know, do you think it's harder or it's easier to take a character like that and change like the race or the gender of it?
A bit of both. Easier because you already have characterization, you already have some sort of ideas of storylines, villains, whatever. Harder mostly because sometimes you get fan backlash, but that's really the only thing that makes it harder.
Is because when you have those die-hard fans,
yeah, and
those are the type of people who follow that.
Yeah,
you know?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. To me, I don't claim that I'm the most unique or original person, but if I'm gonna write something, it's gonna be with my own freaking characters.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It feels forced to me a lot of the time. Every now and again it doesn't. This one...
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool though, you know, like if you're into The Rocketeer, kind of a cool thing coming. Yeah, I think that's all we have to say on that topic. We are out of time, so we're gonna move ahead. Next up on our topics today is The Walking Dead, a show that will be interesting for us to talk about because neither one of us watches it. And that is breaking a geek taboo, I feel like. Like, I don't know if The Rocketeer was, not watching The Walking Dead, that for sure kind of is. Like, you gotta admit, it kind of is. It's like not watching Game of Thrones, because it's kind of the parallel to it.
I don't understand how, considering there's such... Well, actually, no, I'm gonna hold my tongue. So we just saw the season 7 trailer. For those of you who watched, we just saw the cliffhanger where Negan is going to murder one of the one of the 11 main cast members. And this is kind of like the first big, like really big bad I feel like the show has had, like this purely evil character, you know what I mean? From what I understand. Like I said, I flat out confessed at the beginning that I do not watch this show. I've seen exactly 2 episodes.
I have seen the first season and a half, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
That you're not going to do, let's be real.
No, I will eventually. I actually will.
Don't lie.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start this timer. Let's talk about it a little bit.
All right.
This is bad because we don't watch the show. So how much can we really say about that? Is this unprofessional? Maybe. So
how much of a conniption fit do you think people are gonna have if it's Daryl that dies, though?
Oh my god! I mean,
like they've been
talking about.
I want to see the Twitter
They've
storm.
been promising a riot for the past, like, 4 seasons if he dies.
Haven't really got...
So.
Yeah, I think they should do it.
Let's see it.
At this point, who was the last important... do important characters die in that show? I don't know.
There was one character
I know
who was
there was
important
one who everyone, like, collectively, like, pooped themselves about her dying.
Yes, there was that one. And then there was another character who was killed off, but then it turns out he wasn't actually killed off. Glenn, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know
I guess, like,
Glenn
something about a dumpster was involved, and people were pissed. And, like, I was just thinking, I was like, man, that makes, like, the whole Jon Snow resurrection, that makes the Jon Snow resurrection look like fine. You know what I mean?
Could be worse.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I would call The Walking Dead a dumpster fire. I feel like we probably have a lot of people who really like the show out there. Thomas and Emily like the show. They've watched it. They're pretty caught up. I don't know. Like, maybe I would like the show. Maybe I just have to get into it. It's just been one of those things.
The thing is, Jess, I don't like zombies very much, and I don't like soap operas very much. So what is there for me?
Dumpsters that people survive in.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that either. It's a very specific thing. You can put that on, you know...
Stuff I don't like. Dumpsters that people survive in. Dumpsters that people are dead in is fine, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a little more sense.
I guess. I don't know, I like Norman Reedus.
Yeah, he seems like an okay guy.
He's like a cool guy. He's associated with cool stuff. This
is the most, like, contrived topic I've ever seen. Like,
I
we have done so far.
Saints the second time I saw it.
All right.
Okay, that's that.
That is that. So, season 7 trailer.
Of us talking was a dumpster fire.
That was a dumpster fire. We are dumpster fires. So, we are now going to move on into an area that, I don't know. Taylor, you have lukewarm feelings about it. Some things excite you in it. Others do not. Some are dumpster fires. To me, this is very exciting. We're going to go into Marvel, into DC, because there was a lot of news at San Diego Comic-Con about both of them. There's some really exciting announcements, some awesome footage that was released, and the first thing that we're going to talk about was, like, something that literally made me cry, and that was the Wonder Woman trailer and the Justice League, like, 3-minute footage, kind of a trailer, kind of more just they're showing footage. So let's go ahead and just start right now. You have to admit, you thought it looked good.
I mean, Justice League, I'm like, I kind of whatever. I will see it when I can get it on video, because I think Jason Momoa
on video makes it sound like we're like 2001.
Whatever.
You're gonna go to Blockbuster, pick it up,
God,
put it
I
in the
wish
VCR.
I missed Blockbuster. Wonder Woman, I might actually pony up and go see in theaters. I thought that looked really good. I kind of like Wonder Woman, like, on principle, I guess. I think Gal Gadot is cool. She's a good actress. She's really pretty. I mean, I'm not super excited about Chris Pine being Chris Piney. I think Thomas's, like, irrational hatred is rubbed off on me a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Thomas does have an irrational hatred of Chris Pine.
I don't think Chris Pine's, like, the best or anything, but... And it's not like Thomas is even a huge Trekkie or anything. So
no. Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. There's somebody else he really hates, too. I can't think of who it is.
I mean, I have those, too, but...
Matt Damon. He hates Matt Damon. That's who it is. Like, just like whenever he sees him, he's enraged. So Chris Pine and Matt Damon.
James McAvoy is mine.
Really?
James McAvoy and Keira Knightley.
Huh.
But
Keira
anyway.
Knightley's funny. Okay. But no, I think that, to me, like I said, I cried. They look so good. You see Wonder Woman's lasso of truth in it. Those boots that she wears. Oh my god.
Shoes.
Those are amazing.
Shoe porn right there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, like... It was just so good looking. And then Justice League, I really honestly, like what they're doing with it.
That is, like, and this is, again, super predictable. The thing that's kind of drawn me to Wonder Woman over a lot of DC's other stuff is that it's during World War I.
Yeah, it's a period piece,
it's a period piece, sort of.
In a sense.
And World War I is kind of an interesting one for them to set it into, because it's just, like, such a crappy war. Like, there was... Like, so senseless. Like, World War II is awful, but in terms of, like, awful for the soldiers, you can't really beat World War I. So... Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those, and I know we just ran out of time, but it's one of those that's very frequently overlooked in favor of doing movies around World War II.
Well, so there's an easy villain in World War II. Yes. There's not in World War I.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'm really incredibly excited. I know you saw some of the footage up here. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It looks so good. I'm so excited. I can't express enough how excited I am for those. I'm geeking out a little bit. Moving on in the DC universe, we have some news about Suicide Squad, which is actually coming to theaters next weekend. And you and I, okay, You and I both started off being pretty apathetic towards the whole movie.
Kind of just negative in
exactly.
general.
Like, we were definitely on the,
that first shot of Jared Leto as the Joker, I was just like...
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, and I felt the same way. I was like, it's gotta be a joke. Because I remember seeing the images. I'm like, it's gotta be a Photoshop stupid joke. And then I saw him in the trailer, and I was like, my heart kind of skipped a beat.
But not the good way.
Not in the good way. And, like, the way, like, oh, fuck, what are they doing? Like, that was more of the way that it happened.
Like, the cringy, just, like,
exactly.
Secondhand embarrassment sort of deal.
Yes. But then it went on a little bit more. We saw the, I keep wanting to say Blitzkrieg Bop. Oh my god,
Blitz.
Ballroom Blitz by
Trailer.
Sweet. Awesome song. That trailer was cool, kind of vamped us up.
Maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The moment where I was like, you know what? I think I want to see this was the clip that they showed of Enchantress transforming, and it was really cool, and I didn't know anything about the character, so I looked her up, and apparently there's like costuming controversy because her new outfit is too sexy, but her old one was stupid looking.
Yeah.
And I think when you're an ancient, basically goddess, you can wear sexy all you want.
Oh, for sure. We just talked about that in our latest article. If you're a goddess, like, you have a free pass to basically wear like pasties and you're good.
It's fine.
So
that's what I want to do for Halloween if the character ends up
wear
being
pasties?
Cool. No. Enchantress.
Okay. I'm sure that you wouldn't get like any objection from, you know, the fans, except for maybe like ones that you're related to.
Yeah.
I watch this. So,
Sorry, Dad.
you know, exactly. But the cool news about this, though, to actually get to what we're talking about, is in an order of appearance list that was released, we saw that the Flash, played by Ezra Miller, who we just saw in the Justice League clip that happened a second ago. Surprisingly good. Who looks like he's going to do a good job. My heart still is with Grant Gustin, because I love him as Barry Allen. It's fantastic. But he looks good. He might be appearing in Suicide Squad. And this isn't particularly surprising since we do have Captain Boomerang in there, which is historically a Flash villain. But yeah, maybe it'll be a flashback sort of thing. I don't know. Let's talk about it.
I mean, full disclosure, I think Captain Boomerang's kind of hot for a, in a thuggish Australian sort of way.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. We're going to talk about the Flash.
We're going to talk about it. No, I agree with you, though. I do think he's kind of cute. He is, in like a weird way. But, yeah, I don't know. So we might see the Flash in there. We might... I think there's
a rumor that it's going to be, like, all of the Justice League is going to show up.
Because I guess during the reshoots for Suicide Squad, Justice League was also filming. They were around the set, and so... good old Zacky Snyder was just like, hey, we can do a little bit of cross-contamination here. Cross-contamination. So this could be good. This could be a dumpster fire, which is the word of the day. Or the phrase of the day, rather.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm just kind of, like, very indifferent to the whole, like, universe-building thing that movies are doing. I kind of, and I've expressed this opinion maybe on videos before, I don't know. It's one of those that I express so often I don't even know where. I like things that are a little more self-contained, so I don't like having to, like, watch a million different movies to get one movie, or read a bunch of different comics to get one comic arc.
Yeah.
Or read, like, 7 novels of 1,000 pages each to get a whole story. So the whole, like, universe building thing doesn't really do it a lot for me.
Yeah.
I feel like if they did, like, a cameo with, like, just Flash, that might be kind of fun. Just a little cameo with, you know, 1 or 2 characters. And we know Batman's going to be in it a little bit, and that makes more sense because it's got Joker and Harley and a lot of Batman villains.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And Harley is kind of at the forefront of it, and you really can't have Harley, I feel like, without having Joker and Batman kind of in there somewhere. Or Poison Ivy. Yeah, because honestly, her and Poison Ivy,
that's where it's at.
That's where it's at. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it tentatively. I think that for me, I've like been on a roller coaster with Suicide Squad. I've been like, okay, I'm not into this. I'm really into this. They're revealing too much about it. I'm not into it anymore. Now they're adding more people. Not into it. Like,
but now I'm kind of into it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very confusing. So that's it, though, for us talking about Suicide Squad. We'll be checking that out next week, though. We'll have a review up, most definitely. And I'm hoping it'll be good. I don't know. I'm going to remain positive about it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on, though. And we have lots of Marvel news. I was trying to think. I was like, oh my gosh, what's the other one? Marvel. Okay, so the biggest piece of news that we have right now is that Brie Larson has been cast as Captain Marvel. And as to not talk about it too much right now, let's just go ahead and start it. So Captain Marvel...
I have no idea who Brie Larson is.
She was in, so she just won an Oscar last year for her performance in Room, which was about a woman.
I read the book, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, a woman who was essentially kidnapped by a guy, had a child by him, you know.
Trying to keep it together.
Exactly.
For the kid,
Exactly. Very emotional, very powerful movie. And,
the book is good. I haven't seen the movie, but the book is good.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, she has chops, basically, you know, is what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see her in this sort of a role. And especially
Room to a Marvel movie seems like an odd transition, but
exactly. And what's actually
I don't know anything about Captain Marvel, so I don't know if it's like a more serious Marvel thing. Or...
She's kind of a more serious character.
Okay.
She's not a playful type. She's captain. She's military.
Okay.
So yeah, she's a pilot actually. As you can tell by Captain. So Carol Danvers is her name. She's been something that a lot of female fans have been looking forward to because we do need to see the introduction of more female characters in the Avengers.
Well, so far it's been Black Widow, and Black Widow's boring.
Yeah, I mean...
I know that's maybe a controversial opinion, but I think Black Widow
has a cool backstory, but they've never given her time to shine or to go into anything in depth in any story. I also don't think
Scarlett Johansson's that good of an actress, honestly. So.
I like Scarlett. I think that she's better in indie films than she is in these big titles.
Oh, yeah.
But going on with Captain Marvel, though... it's going to be interesting, and one of the particularly embarrassing things that happened with it is whenever somebody talked to her, she's been in talks to play Captain Marvel for probably a few months before it was even announced. And so an interviewer asked her, hey, like, what would you think about playing Captain Marvel? Because a lot of fans have been talking about it. And she's like, oh, isn't that a guy? And she was talking about Captain America. She's like, doesn't Chris Evans play him? And it's just like, oh, like kind of stumbled a little there. Not a big deal at all. Like, it's something that I feel like most people should laugh off. And if you're taking that seriously, like, but it was kind of like one of those funny, embarrassing moments that, I don't know, throwing it out there. It was funny.
Whatever. Would you rather have someone playing the part who can act or someone playing the part who likes the part?
Exactly. For sure. You'd rather have the actor.
I know that might be a fan heresy, but I'd rather have someone who can act.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's lots of characters who play superheroes right now who didn't even open a comic book before they took their role, and they're killing it.
Or even, like, you know, people who didn't read the book, but they're awesome in the part. So,
yeah, exactly. So, that is that for Marvel news. We have one more piece, and this is going to be our last Comic-Con related piece of news, and then we have one more after that, and we're done. Okay, so we had a technical difficulty, so we're actually not going to be using the microphones anymore. We're just using the audio on the camera. I'm sorry if it's a little bit rougher. We'll have it fixed hopefully in the next... Hopefully soon. I don't know exactly when. Hopefully soon. But anyway, we're going to continue with some Marvel news. I was going to say noise. Some Marvel news. And this is about the Netflix, or the Netflix universe, not cinematic universe. Which I know. The second that I say anything about a universe, Taylor, like, just withdraws in her style. Exactly. Just like that.
That face and everything.
So, but it's pretty exciting stuff. So we just had our first look at Iron Fist, which Finn Jones, who plays Loras in Game of Thrones, is what you probably know him from. Spoiler alert, R.I.P.
Whatever.
So Finn Jones is going to be playing Danny Rand, who's Iron Fist. We just saw the first look at that. We also saw another look at Luke Cage. We've already seen him a little bit, so nothing too new and exciting there, but just a little bit more of a glimpse. The downfall in this, though, and actually we can go, let's start the timer.
Let's do it.
But the downfall in this is going to be that because of these shows coming out, it's looking like it's going to be at least 2018 before we see Jessica Jones Season 2, Daredevil Season 3, or Punisher. Yes, Punisher. So that's kind of a bummer for people who are excited about that. I know what you're thinking.
I can't take the name seriously. Anyway.
But... yeah, so I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Do you have any thoughts on these?
I mean, Luke Cage he's the big bulletproof guy, right?
Yeah.
And I know nothing about Iron Fist other than he has a silly sounding name.
Yes.
And what's his face is kind of cute.
Yeah, Finn Jones.
Yeah.
He's kind of cute. No, so Iron Fist is going to take place also in the New York metropolitan area. He's going to become part of the Defenders.
Oh boy, another thing in New York.
I know, it really is. It's like... it really is. It's just all of these people in New York, which, I mean, granted, New York does have some pretty shitty problems going on there, but, you know, maybe a little bit of overkill. Why can't somebody be fighting crime in, like, Omaha? The Omaha Defenders.
The Omaha Defenders.
So, But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to Iron Fist. I don't know a ton about it. Andrew's really the one who's read quite a bit on Iron Fist. He really likes the story. Very, as the name kind of implies, martial arts type character. He gets the skills in the mountains, just like Batman and everybody else. It's either that or an island, in the case of Green Arrow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I wonder how much is going to be backstory versus how much we're just going to see him go out and start fighting. It'll be cool to see the Defenders all come together eventually, whenever that happens.
I don't know who they are, so...
It's going to be basically all these people who are doing Netflix shows, like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil. It's all of the people who are not cool enough to be Avengers. But in reality, it's not like they're kind of cooler.
Well...
But we're out of time. But anyway, gonna be really cool, excited, looking forward to that. Not looking forward to the 2018 wait for, especially Jessica Jones for me.
She has your name.
She has my name. We share a name. Yeah. But we're gonna move on to our last piece of news. We're leaving the realm of superheroes and entering the realm of Westeros/Essos/ all the places. Game of Thrones. So it was just confirmed today, and we've heard talk.
We've pretty
of
much known it.
Exactly. Like, it's been made. One of the titles that I saw for a news story was "It is officially official," because that's kind of how it is. You know,
Yeah.
we've known. Season 8 is the last season of Game of Thrones. It is coming to an end. Well, let's start that timer.
Yeah.
So I know so Taylor, over the course of the last
like a bad
year
breakup.
has fallen off of the Game of Thrones bandwagon. I'm still on it. Like I
just don't know how they're gonna like resolve everything in only like 13 episodes.
Yeah, because that's the thing too.
Because
like,
I thought the last
only...
season one of the many things that cheesed me off about last season was way too much happened way too fast. Not enough was built up, which led to me character motivation seeming inconsistent. A lot of other things. I just don't know how they're going to satisfactorily wrap it up. Although I guess like they don't have any good enemies left. It's just the White Walkers. Because like
Cersei.
Yeah, like with Dany's army, who freaking cares?
Yeah.
Like she's gonna get stomped. That's like a foregone conclusion. That's kind of where I am too. It's one of the other things.
You know what though? Like I think that the whole prophecy thing is going to happen, and I think it's probably going to be Jamie who kills her, and I think that's probably going to be a pretty damn good episode. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, the only way I don't know. I just like I said I don't care about Game of Thrones anymore.
I care about it. I love it. I think it's so good. My favorite show. And I'm really excited for it. And I think that 8 seasons is good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to see it become this very drawn out, contrived. You know, I would rather it go out strong. Which, like I said, some like Taylor might argue that it's already lost.
It's already.
I still think it's going strong. A lot of people do. I mean, this past season was the highest rated season ever. Most
I mean, a lot of people like
ever.
50 Shades of Grey and Twilight too, so...
I don't think it's fair to compare it to 50 Shades and Twilight. But...
I'm just saying, popularity is not a good metric of quality.
Okay. Anyway, really excited for it. I think it's gonna be good. Like I said, I would rather it go out on top than crumble and fall and become contrived. Like I said, Taylor might disagree. I'm just not going to look at her right now. Not going to look at her right now. No, I'm fine with the supernatural route. I'm fine with it.
The supernatural route, like the TV show, where there's like a billion freaking seasons. And it should have ended like 4, 5, 6, 7, like a billion seasons ago.
Yes.
Anyway.
We're out of time though, but yeah, like I said, all in all, I think it's a positive thing. There's really not much more to talk about on that too. Just letting you guys know. They're going to be shorter seasons, so you can't expect to have your full 20 hours, but there's probably going to be about 13 hours between both seasons. So, I mean, if you want to get through it, there's not a whole lot more to suffer through.
No.
Alright, so that does it for us. That's our entire show. This is actually going to be, Taylor is, so she's been going to school up here. We live in kind of a college town. And she is going to be moving back home after this. She's going to be doing her student teaching. She's getting her master's in education. So,
and English. Sorry, just gotta throw that in.
Yes.
You can never be overdressed or overeducated. So
she's going to be doing that, going forward with her life, moving to an actual city where there are people and things to do. So this is going to be her last show for a little while, but she still will be writing every week. She still will make appearance in videos, like we will still go out there and see her. It's not like she's disappearing.
No, I'm not vanishing into the ether. I still exist.
Exactly. You just might see a little bit less of her.
I'm sorry. I know that I'm clearly the draw. Yeah.
Exactly. But
I don't know what I'm
everybody.
talking about half the time. I'm probably not. Let's be real.
But yeah, so that's our show. Be sure to check us out at Facebook at subtrendy. Look us up on there. Most of us have Twitter accounts. You can check me out at
I don't
subtrendy Jess. She does not. Andrew does. Thomas does. Emily does. Subtrendy, our name. That's us. Check us out at subtrendy.com. We have articles up every single day, pretty much. And don't forget to subscribe to us, like us on YouTube, leave a comment if you have a comment to make. Love you guys. Check us out. Bye.